Picture this, what if all it takes is a moment believing the end doesn't end, it begins. Picture this, what if all we want is
Picture this today on the Christian Car Guys show. Picture this with God fear. Like, oh my, what an amazing thing when you realize that God has this, regardless of what you're seeing with your eyes. God's way bigger than anything that you may be facing. And so, as he said to Abraham and Isaac and Jacob and Hagar, he's saying to all of us. And when we left our hero, Jerry, and by the way, we got a call from North Carolina we're going to share a story here in a minute, but we got to finish up Jerry's story. You were in Jamaica. You were in a van. You got 11 people in there.
We're, like I said, about an hour out of Montego Bay. Of course, you're on the wrong side of the vehicle. You're sitting in the passenger seat and you're trying to shift gears with your left hand and nothing is right. You're on the opposite side of the road. Well, we're just moving right along, normal trip up the mountain. And all of a sudden I had a blowout, not just a blowout, both left tires blew out. Well, instantly when that happened, like I said, it's where you don't understand about. It seemed like it took 10 minutes. It was a matter of seconds because it seemed like I was racing through my brain what to do, because when it happened, the van tilted off to one side and almost felt like it was on a flip. And then the van behind me said, I thought you was on a flip, but we didn't. So I jerked it back and then I kind of went over into the right-hand lane in oncoming traffic. There was a truck coming at me. So at this point, I decided I got to get back to the other side of the road, and I had to get off the road. Well, we were just past an area that had, hills on the side, but we came to an area where a little community where they have the huts and the little stores and stuff. And I go sliding in there and I'm thinking, please God, don't let there be any Jamaicans walking here because I'm going to probably run over somebody. We slide in this little store, and about 150 yards past where it first had happened, there was they call it a garage, but it was a tree with a canopy, and all these guys come running up there and they're out of breath by the time I get stopped. And one of the guys run up and I'm stepping out and go around to the other side. And gives me a fist bump and he says, "You don't drive like a white man." And I wasn't sure exactly what that meant, but I was just, if that was good, I think I was alive. That's all that mattered. But just the grace of God, we stopped at it. Probably couldn't have been a better place. They allowed people in the van to come in and get something to drink, go to her house, which was behind her little store, and use the restroom because I believe they were all ready to. I wonder they'd have to change some underwear. But but when it all is said and done, and we get thank goodness it was one of the vehicles was the same type of vehicle we had, so we was able to get 2 spare tires and get it on and get back on the road. But as I'm driving, I'm thinking to myself, I said, you know what? Because everybody was just talking about how I can't believe you did that. And I'm thinking, it wasn't me. I mean, that was one of those things where you just knew that God was I look back and I think, man, how terrifying that is and what could have happened. But God was in control, because that was that song of "Let Jesus Take the Wheel" almost.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You lived it.
Yeah.